Some of the most common causes I find are family breakdown. It could be that a family has restructured and there's a step parent involved, and a lot of the time there's conflict in those new relationships when young people get to those teenagers years, when there's obviously going to be conflict anyway.
Oftentimes they're couch surfing and then that will break down, or they're staying with like a friend or other family that's not their parents or their immediate family, and for some reason they can't stay there anymore.
Quite often I'm hearing a lot of particularly young people who identify as being gay, when they've come out to their family, being unable to stay at home, or feeling that they can't be at home, they're not welcome.
I wouldn't say it's easy enough to say that there's a common pathway into homelessness. It's just there's usually a breakdown along the way where they don't have any more support, and so they're left to become homeless.
I find what's really unique working with young people is that we're in a space where they're at more of their start of their journey, and so it's a really good way to implement lots of specialised early intervention strategies. I mean, the goal is to prevent further homelessness and just create a more positive life well-being.
Just the caseworkers and the staff, they were really supportive. Even the casual people that would come in, like casual staff, I'm just really friendly. I'll just sit with them. Hey, come watch TV with me. Just sit with them, talk to them. But they just made me feel safe, and I knew that they were going to help me. And yeah.
A lot of youth workers probably go down the path of being a fixer. That's not the role of a youth worker. The young person is the master of their life. They have all the answers. They just need to find out how to get there, and our role is to help them with that.
I think it's really important that workers set really clear boundaries, really clear expectations, and they really role model for these young people to really thrive. I mean, we're the people that are there on the ground supporting them, and these are the people that, you know, we're working with every day, and so if they see us doing the right thing, then hopefully they'll follow. When I am writing a case plan with a young person, we will either go to their house or we'll go to a cafe. We like to do it in a really informal setting so it doesn't feel very clinical. A lot of their life is filled with other clinical spaces, whether that be with drug and alcohol counsellors or in their mental health appointments. So if I can make it as natural and as calm and creative at times as I can, I will.
Indigenous clients having some representation of their culture around the space is pretty important, I think. Because I'm in a rural area, there's a lot of distance between, so I often have to provide transport. And that sitting in a car, not looking at each other, sometimes, especially I think for young males, is a real icebreaker. You can get to lots of conversations that you wouldn't in that intensive feeling of eye contact and face to face.
At first I was scared to like meet youth workers or case workers because I didn't know like how they were like or if they would understand what I'm going through. And I know they don't understand exactly what I'm going through, but they give me that support that I need. Like they talk to me as if like they active listen to me, like they focus on me and what I need, and it just shows how much they care about me. And I think it's just their attitude and their like willingness to just help and like not drop everything, but like if something needs to be done, they'll make sure they do it. And it just gives me hope and like gives me reassurance that if I do need help, like they're straight onto it. And yeah.
Some of the common challenges and difficulties we have is young people so impacted by their mental health or trauma in general that they can't get to a level where they need to be for our program. They need to be independent. They need to be able to manage their finances and properties and things like that. So that's where a lot of young people fall down.
Lack of income, I would say. Under 16s probably consent as well. If we don't have parental consent, then we can't work with them if they're under 16. So you'll have a lot of kids who are not living with their parents, but their parents relinquish care, but they've still got parental responsibility, and we're not able to work with that young person because we don't have consent.
I think a practical barrier working, with young people is that the larger society do have a lot of stigma attached, especially to youth. They don't see that as particularly a homelessness problem. And so when you're looking at re-enrolling these young people into school programs or employment programs, they don't quite see the value that young person might add to their organisation or to their school.
Number one tip, I suppose, would be get your network and your resources, continue building your resources. So if you've got linkages with great people in Centrelink, nurture those, nurture your network, whoever is in there that can help you achieve the goals you need to achieve, and expand that network everywhere. Learn to be a great advocate, and be strong with that. Don't step back and think that if there's a wall there, you can't go through it.
If someone has an outburst, no, it's not about you. I think if you can be as self-aware of your own presence as possible, you'll do a lot better than if you're not. And check your ego at the door pretty much, because people are going to have their bad days and it's not going to be about you, it's going to be about what's happening, but you're there.
I've always tried to work from a manner that I'm more of a mentor. I tell my clients, I'm not going to do things for you, I'll do it with you, I'll support you, learn how to do it, because I'm not always going to be there. There is a time and a place for me to step in and do things for them when there's a crisis. But that's sometimes the easy thing to do, is just jump in. I'm short of time, I'm going to do it for them because, hey, I get it done. But in the long run, they don't learn how to do things for themselves. And as a youth worker or someone that's working with young people, we're trying to build them up, not take away the power that they have, not take away the skills they have. So it's really about that for me.
It's a great career path to be in, and it really does make a difference, and it changes so many people's lives. I know sometimes, like if you're working in this industry, you don't really get shown how much appreciation you get for helping young people, because sometimes young people, they like close themselves off and they don't really show you how much they appreciate you, but really you're saving lives, and just the little things matter. Like just calling them, checking up, or like daily checkups really means a lot, showing them that like you're consistent and that you care. It's just the little things in life that people take for granted.
I think if you are going to work with vulnerable children and young people, you've got to have a passion. You've got to be enthusiastic, you've got to be creative, you've got to love what you're doing and really believe that you can prevent future homelessness.